power, gaming, finesse. That is what you get when you purchase the Predator Gaming Helios Neo 16. It's awesome, it's powerful, and it's everything that you need for your gaming. So, if you purchase this device, it doesn't only let you game, it lets you game, and game some more. Because this laptop is built in with so much of performance that you will never ever go wrong by choosing a device like this. So, starting off with what's under the hood. In terms of a processor, this is running an i9-4900HS processor, right? It has a performance core with Intel's thermal velocity boost, which can run up to 5.8 gigahertz. It can be overclocked, as well as it supports hybrid core architecture with the new performance cores and efficiency cores. In terms of RAM, it's running 16 gigs worth of RAM and can be maxed out at up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. In terms of graphics, this is running a GeForce RTX 4060 with 8 gigs of RAM for graphics. In terms of storage, it has 1 terabyte of PCIe NVMe Gen 4 SSD storage that can transfer at up to 16 gigabits per second, so that you can store as many games as you require, as well as not worry about running out of space. So now, when it comes down to design, in terms of the dimensions, this is 35 by 27 by 2.49 centimeters. In terms of weight, this is 2.6 kilograms. So this is a bit of a hefty boy. Now, when it comes to the design, as we said, it's a 16-inch device. So there's plenty of real estate on this device to accommodate a number pad, as well as at the bottom, the trackpad is rather large, as well as there's plenty of real estate around it to accommodate that if we want to use the trackpad when we are gaming. In terms of cooling, there are three cutouts on either side of the device for cooling, and there is an air intake, two actually rather wide air intakes under the device, and there are rubber standoffs to lift the device up. Something unique to this device, apart from the inscriptions on the lid of the device, is that there is almost a 4 to 5 centimeter strip at the back of the device that is left at the back, which has inscriptions Helios Neo 16 and all of those things. And there's a couple of ports at the back, as well as ventilation cutouts at the back as well. But in terms of its design, as much as it is bulky, the power that is built into it will never make you question, why do I have such a big device? And I think that's very cool, because it did stump me, the design initially, but when I realized the amount of performance that was built in, it just changed my perception of it. But away from the design, now let's talk about the display. So it is a 16-inch screen, and it has resolutions of 2560 by 1600. This screen, it is a 240 Hz display and has 3 milliseconds worth of response time. So that 4060 with the 3 milliseconds and 240 Hz display, crisp images and swift, awesome responses when you are gaming. This device is powered by a lithium-ion 90 watt-hour battery and is charged by this hefty block that is, if I am reading this correctly, a 330 watt charger. So there's no time to play with this. In terms of IOs, this has 3 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports. It has 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C ports built in at the back. that support display over power delivery as well as DC input at 20 volts and Ethernet at up to 40 gigabits per second. It has an RJ45, HDMI 2.1, some other additional IOs. It has a micro SD card reader and an earphone port. And when it comes to connectivity, this has Wi-Fi 6E, or it supports Wi-Fi 6E, as well as Bluetooth 5.3. The keyboard itself, like how I mentioned, it's a ergonomic keyboard that's spread out quite awesomely. It's the Acer fine-tip backlit keyboard. And I mean, all in all, this device, when you look at it, it's very much deceiving as to how much of power that is built into this device. Now, let us cut to some real-world gaming testing, as well as some benchmarks pulled off the device. So when it comes down to it, this device is built for gamers, and there's no two way about it, because the amount of power that's built in, yeah, I mean, you could use it for other things like developing and all of those things, but with the display that's built in, with the 4060, it's built for gamers. And everything from the placement of the USB ports, the placement of the HDMI, that all has been taken into consideration when building this device. When it comes down to retail price, this device is currently retailing for about 36,900 Rand, in and about that range on the Acer South Africa website at the moment. So, in my eyes, I think that is very much a budget price for an i9 number 1, for a 4060 number 2, and for a 240 Hz 3 millisecond 16-inch display. So coming to some of the pros and the cons, or some of the pros, I think the cost factor, very, very awesome. The amount of power that's built in, that's next level. The third thing that we have to talk about is the fact that this device was engineered for gamers. And again, coming to the placement of the HDMI port at the back of the device, so that if you had to connect up a second screen, it's not on the sides where it can get caught in your hand while you're gaming or anything like that. It's out of the way entirely. Same thing with charging port, USB Type-C if you're going to use a dock or anything like that. So all of those things have been taken into consideration. The fourth thing that I have to mention is the look of the device is just, that's it. It's built for gamers with that sleek aesthetic appeal. One of the points of improvement, or the cons, is that it is a heavy device, right? So I doubt you're going to be able to get a quick gaming session in the airport with carrying this, as well as a 2.6 kilogram laptop as well. So that's one of the cons that I can pick up with this device. But other than that, it is absolutely amazing, and I had an amazing time testing it out, whether it was playing the games, whether it was just general testing with the device. It just was an amazing experience. Now, in coming to round up, I would like to give a big shout out to Acer South Africa for sending out this device for me to review. And as you guys know, the thoughts and opinions expressed in this review are of me and TechScene alone, and have not been influenced in any way, shape or form. Guys, if you have any questions about the Predator Gaming Helios Neo 16, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, you can let me know by giving me a like rating if you did. And if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And also, make sure that you're following us on our social media to see more content, short form content or as such, of this device. Whether it's snippets of me gaming, whether it's some of the specs or even testing out some of the other features of this device and any other device. But guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Preshaan and I will catch you in the next video.